Good morning, everybody. John Ponick with Mojave Valley Daily News. Sorry about that delay. We, hard to believe, are having internet issues.
Not again.
Yes, hard to believe. But thankfully, we're the only one in town that has internet issues because
That's good.
we have such wonderful service that nobody else ever has any problems. All right, this is the Daily Dose. It's brought to you by TRISTATE Radiology Center. One of the main reasons why you and your physician should choose TRISTATE Radiology Center is that as an independent imaging center, the cost is substantially less than hospital-based facilities. TRISTATE Radiology is conveniently located in Fort Mojave. Call them today at 928-460-7226. And remember, at TRISTATE Radiology Center, your image means the world to us. Are you looking good or no?
Yeah, so far so good. I can't get it on my screen, but people in the chat are, I guess.
Are they seeing it? Well, let us know what you got over there because I do not see anything. All right, let's start with our breaking news. You have a video of a accident this morning. Jeff was on his way in this morning, and there was an accident over on Hancock and Train, a pretty serious one. It appears that this red truck was at the stoplight and was rear-ended by the, what is it? What is that other little car?
That looks like I forget, a Flex?
Flex?
Yeah, Flex.
It did some pretty good damage to that truck. It also did some real bad damage to the front of the car. You said one person was transported to hospital?
Correct. One person transported to the hospital with unknown injuries.
The driver of the Flex.
Yeah.
So it shut Hancock down, which we know at that time of the day is it's
Morning rush
pretty
hour,
busy,
yeah.
pretty busy area over there. So,
But you can see the video is pretty hard impact there.
yeah,
So,
pretty bad. First, terrible way to start off your morning.
but if you're going to have an accident, I guess right in front of the fire station would be the
Yes,
best place to have
immediately
it.
Immediately in front of fire station 2. They had to bring the ambulance out, but they really could have walked out there faster. So
You can see the damage to the back of that truck there is pretty significant.
And the driver of the truck we know is fine.
Yeah, he
They
was
talked
standing
to him and
outside.
everything,
Yeah, he
but-
was fine. Yep.
So
well,
we're assuming that it was the little Flex
driver of the Flex. Correct.
yeah.
That's true. Yep.
All right. All right, our other breaking news, officer-involved shooting ruled to be justified. 16-year veteran David Cornelison is the Bullhead City officer. He was involved in a shooting on June 26th. The Lake Havasu Police Department, as the way this goes, is that if something happens in Bullhead City, the Bullhead City people can't investigate it. It has to be done by Kingman or Lake Havasu. So the Lake Havasu Police Department investigated it, and they ruled that it was a justified shooting. What happened was Officer Cornelison was responded to a complaint on the 1600 block of Raymar Road. He found Rev Tave Rogers there with a bat. He charged towards the officer. The officer tased him. It didn't seem to slow him down. So Rogers ignored repeated warnings to put down the bat, increasingly got more and more aggressive. Officer pulled his gun. Eventually, he pulled his gun and fearing for his life, he fired 7 shots from his duty handgun, hit Rogers with 3 of them, and resulted in Rogers' death. So, according to the release, it says Officer Cornelison showed great restraint in this case to the point that he could have been seriously injured or killed. Officer Cornelison's use of deadly physical force was justified. He actually had been hit by the bat, the officer did. So, yes, I would say...
I was wondering about that because I was on scene, and I was wondering if the officer was charged with the bat, and that's the reason he fired. I was thinking that.
he was charged with the bat. He told him multiple times to drop it and chill, and he decided not to chill. He did the opposite of chill. So it cost him his life. All right, let's go to our top story. Ducey fills judicial clerk vacancies. This is the vacancy created when... Judge Gertler had retired on June 30th. So Governor Ducey appointed Megan McCoy. McCoy is from Kingman. She was one of the 4 finalists who interviewed for the position. She is now the Mojave County Superior Court presiding judge. She served as a deputy Mojave County attorney and prosecuted cases here from 2006 to 2019 when she was appointed as the Mojave County Court Commissioner. So congratulations to her. I like having a local person appointed to that spot.
Absolutely.
So what will happen then is she will. So right now, Judge Steve Moss is sitting in that position temporarily. He said it'll probably be October before McCoy's successor is selected as the court commissioner, and then she will move into her position as the presiding judge there for the court. And it says she will likely be assigned to the family law and juvenile caseload that he handles in Lake Havasu City. Moss will then relocate and handle cases up here in Bullhead City. They also filled the vacant position for the County Clerk of Superior Court. They appointed Christina Spurlock, who had been sitting in that spot temporarily on an interim basis. All right, there is a city council meeting tonight. And there's two of them. There's a workshop at 4:30, executive session at 4:30, not a workshop. Executive session at 4:30, and then there's special open meeting at 5:30. During the special open meeting, they are expected to talk about the whole EPCOR deal, specifically the rates, where the rates are going to be. They're going to install EPCOR's current water rates, fees, and charges as the interim rates, fees, and charges. They're going to vote on that, but that's what the whole thing is to address. They also are going to be, sorry, I'm trying to multitask here, talking about their own rules and regulations for water service in the Mojave and North Mojave districts that are currently served by EPCOR. It says that the city may be able to announce the anticipated time and completion for the acquisition. They actually announced it this morning, about an hour ago. So the city is taking over the water assets from EPCOR effective Monday, August 30th at 9 a.m. Did you put up the logo? I don't have.
It's up right now. Now it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they also released this new logo, which will be their, yeah. See, my whole thing is just locked up. Okay. Oh, is that YouTube?
No, that's Facebook.
That is? Okay. Well, I don't see anything on mine. So.
Yeah, our screens are having issues, so
right.
Take a look at that one if you can.
Okay.
It's a little small, but yeah.
So they announced this new logo and everything else. So all four items on the agenda for the special meeting relate to the city's acquisition and operation of the water system. The mayor and city manager were up in Denver a couple days ago finalizing the sale of the bonds. So when we were going through this whole thing a few years ago, it was touted that the Proposition 415 was going to authorize up to $130 million, and the bond would bear interest rates at or below 8%. The city manager and city council and everybody at that time were telling us, look, we're going to be way, way below 8%. We've got an A rating. We're going to get really good rates, hopefully below 3%. Well, after that, their rating was increased to AA, and so they were able to get the bonds at a 2.46% interest rate, which is phenomenal. So they'll be talking about that tonight. The final price hasn't been set yet for what they're going to pay for EPCOR, but we know that it's going to be, we're hoping that it's going to be somewhere around that $80 million or lower that they have borrowed. All right. We also got a neat little story here on the front. Voices of the River Community Choir returns after 4-year hiatus. So they were around for 10 years. It's kind of affiliated with Mojave Community College. And they took some time off. and now they are coming back. They spent 4 years off. Sean Bristol, who was the director and founder of the choir, had hoped that they were able to bring it back last year, but then they had problems with COVID, like we all did and do continue to
Still going
have.
on. That's right.
So they, in June they sat down, or no, July 6th, they sat down and started talking about putting it back together, and they've decided to go ahead and do it. Their first concert is going to be called Sing, Dream, Love. That should be in the spring of 2022. They're hoping to have it around Valentine's Day. It will have music ranging from 1920s to modern pop. So that's nice. They also, the Voices on the River, what happens with that is that the money that they raise, in the past anyway, has gone into the MCC's scholarship account, the foundation. They have the Mojave Community College Foundation. They have a scholarship account. But they're talking about maybe using some of that money to go into a building fund project for the Bullhead campus. So it's kind of cool that people are able to get back out there and start doing these things. That'll be a neat gig. All right, skip over that. Skip past that. Got a nice, interesting letter to the editor by James Compton here. That is, it's a good read. All right, should we jump into sports?
Let's go to sports.
We actually have some local prep sports are back. So
Yay.
I know that Melk has started working on some of their stuff. And here our first one to cover is the Melk football team. So they had a pretty nice day. All right, so Melk went winless last year. Rough year.
Yeah, real rough.
I mean, anytime you're winless, it's a rough year. Well, they started out their season Friday night against Baghdad, and they beat them 60-42.
Broke the streak.
Right.
All right.
The drought is over. Keldon Holmes, the quarterback, passed for 297 yards and 6 touchdowns. 4 of those went to Aiden Honiger. We know Aiden as the basketball player. Apparently, Aiden can catch a football as well.
Yeah, he can play many sports, obviously.
Yeah. So he's a 5'9", 170-pound senior, 7 passes for 223 yards and 4 touchdowns. Bryce Merrigan and Tyson Banks each also had a touchdown pass. Senior Owen Davis had 2 kickoff returns for touchdown, 82 yards and 80 yards. That helps. So the Patriots defense, despite giving up 42 points, came up with some big plays, including 4 interceptions, with Bobby Sanchez having 3. So good start, Melk.
That's the way to go.
Way to go, Patriots. The Patriots return to action Friday night, hosting Valley Union, 7 o'clock at Firebird Field in Rotary Park. So if you get a chance, go on and check them out.
Athlete of the Week's coming up again. Now that we have that coming up.
Yes. Yes, we actually, look for Athlete of the Week starting up here in the next couple of weeks. So, all right, today in history, I got a few of them for you here. One of them I'm going to ask you to weigh in, Mike. August 24th, 1814, during the War of 1812, British forces invaded Washington, D.C., setting fire to the Capitol, which was still under construction, and the White House. So that was kind of a big deal. Mm-hmm. In the year 79 A.D., Mount Vesuvius erupted. I just like saying Vesuvius.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I
wasn't around then.
I wasn't either. It was a couple years before me.
Yeah.
Buried Pompeii. We always talk about Pompeii, but there was another Herculaneum. Never heard of that town. But an estimated 20,000 people died. And here's the one I'd like Mike to weigh in. 1989, baseball commissioner A. Bartlett Giamatti banned Pete Rose from the game for betting on his own team, the Cincinnati Reds. What are your thoughts on the Pete Rose situation, especially when it comes to the Hall of Fame?
I think that Pete Rose should have been punished. I think that betting on a game that you're playing or managing is unethical, huge conflict,
Kind of cheating.
not acceptable. So I do think Pete should have been punished. I think that there are enough people in the Hall of Fame with
Sketchy
questionable past
For sure.
that you punish Pete, you ban him for, say, 25 years. You you can't do anything in baseball for 25 years. After that time, if everybody says, you know what, you've paid the penalty, just based upon his statistics, absolutely, he should be in the Hall of Fame.
I could not agree more.
Did he do something wrong? Yes, he did. Should he be punished for that? Yes. Should he be punished the rest of his life and his accomplishments go unrecognized? I don't think so.
Yeah, I agree. There's no doubt that he deserves to be in the Hall based strictly
He didn't
on
kill
numbers.
anybody, so
He didn't kill anybody, right?
Yeah, if you want to put an asterisk
Speaking of
or
OJ.
something by his name, go ahead. But you can't deny that when he played, he likely was the best hitter in the game.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
And now if you started asking me about the steroid era, I may
Barry
not.
Bonds and Mark McGwire.
that's a whole different story.
I may not be as forgiving for performance-enhancing drugs.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. All right. Seeing as how we're on the same page, which might be the only time today, we'll move on.
Okay, let's move on.
Weather. Weather's brought to you by Living Waters Hospice, your hometown hospice. Together we can make a difference. It's going to be not too bad today, but it's going to get hotter.
110 degrees, not too bad, folks.
110 and sunny, light breezes. Wednesday, sunny with haze in the morning, high around 113. It was pretty hazy this morning coming in. Thursday, sunny, high around 115. Friday, sunny and 115. And Saturday, sunny and 115. So, pretty nice. I mean, 115 is hot.
Yeah,
It's not 127.
we're used to it.
Yeah.
Dry heat.
We can deal with it.
Yeah.
So, all right. I think that wraps it for today, huh, Jeff?
I think so.
I'm going to go sit in our manager's office and see if I can find out what we can do about our internet here.
Yeah, thanks.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
All right, this has been brought to you by the TriState Radiology Center. The TriState Radiology Center offers same or next day appointments, and they accept most insurances, including Medi-Cal. They have a wide open MRI and offer digital x-rays with your reports ready in 24 hours. Call them today for an appointment at 928-460-7226. Thank you, everybody, for dealing with our issues here.
Our internet.
Yes, we appreciate it, and we will see you hopefully here tomorrow morning.
For hump day.
Hump day.
Okay.
Thanks, Jeff.
All right, thanks.